Hello everyone, welcome back to Where Swans Walk. Tonight we've got Hugh and James joining us for this week's podcast. Coming up is October Play of the Month, who is our picks, game reactions from Norwich and QPR, and our predictions for this week's games. And since it's Halloween coming up this Friday, what's the most horrifying result, whether you've seen it live or on the TV or whatever, you've seen the Swans, concede. And then also at the end, we'll be doing our A to Z. And this week it is who comes in for D. So I hope you boys have got a good pick for that. Right then, lads. October Play of the Month, in your eyes. Who is it?
That's going to be the easiest. Yeah, it's the easiest pick ever this month, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go on, Hugh. You go first.
Mr. Botnick. No one else really, is there? He single-handedly dragged us to 3 points on Saturday.
Yeah.
Quite from the beginning of October, but overall he's not just player of the month, player of the season, is he, so far? But I called it in the very first podcast this season. I said it's going to be his year. So
yeah. I'm sure I've got a tweet. I've got a tweet out there as well that says that if we play to his strengths, he'll get 20 this season. We're not playing to his strengths, and he's still scoring for absolute fun. I don't understand how he's. If we gave that bloke service, he'd hit prime Mitrovic numbers. I'm telling you, literally, if that guy had service, he'd be absolutely flying.
Yeah, you could see it on Saturday. The two finishes, they were just. If you got more service, you'd get more goals. Simple as. I'd say prime Mitrovic.
It felt like on Saturday he was just like, sod it, I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah.
He just picked the ball up and just bam, hit it as hard as he could.
That second goal was literally, bugger this. It's 1-1, I'm going to do it myself. I've had enough of this.
Going to smash it past Harry Darling in the process.
Yeah. That's the thing that confuses the most. You've got Harry Darling, who's played with a Popnik, knows he's got no pace, but I'm just going to back off, let you get to the edge of the box and then shoot. You should have been charging him down. No disrespect for VP. He's not the paciest fella in the world. If you close him down, he can't get that shot off. But for some reason, Harry Darling's brain just went in reverse and decided, I'm just going to back off. Keep coming.
Well, you've mentioned Harry Darling now. We may as well just get straight into the game reaction for Norwich. Were you both there? Because
no, it wasn't actually this week. Couldn't make it this week.
Couldn't miss it. I think the North Stand made it well known that Harry Darling was in the house throughout the whole game. What was your reaction to it? I think the first goal was a fantastic finish. Didn't expect it, to be honest. I thought it was going over the bar I was in the North Stand, and I thought, this is going over the bar, and it took me a second to realise it actually went in.
Yeah, I didn't realise it got on the post to start with.
Yeah.
Do you see the replay? I think it's Alex Welsh, the media guy on Swansea, put on. It goes off the inside of the post and then into the roof of the net. It looks like he just blasted it. But it was a great run from Stamets to start. He made it. His strength in midfield is superb. He started to do what we wanted him to do, which was great. And then just, the drive and the finish from Bippy was superb.
Yeah.
And
I think it's one of those. I was going to say, I think it was one of those as well that if he hits that 100 times, he probably only scores it once. It was a ridiculous angle. He had absolutely no right to do it from there. But like you said earlier, he just thought, I'm going for it. I've got a foot. I can. And if I get a deflection, it's going in. Yeah, but it was unreal finish from him. Yeah,
it was a tight angle to finish from as well. Again, as I said before, did it actually go in or not? It took me a couple of seconds to realise it actually gone in.
Yeah.
But
he's a few scored from tight angles a few times recently. He scored that header as well, didn't he? He glanced it across goal and he thought there's no chance he can score from there. He can score from anywhere.
I think his confidence is shot up now. The more he's scoring, his confidence is just shooting up. And the second goal, I think, just proves it, to be honest, that the confidence was there. He's just scoring for fun now.
That was all in as well.
I would just love to see what would happen if we gave that guy proper service. I'm telling you, he's an absolute monster as it is now. If you what was it? We had 0.8 expected goals on Saturday, and we somehow scored 2 off it just through his sheer brilliance. Yeah. What concerns me is if you look around him, look at both goals. Where's the nearest white shirt to him?
Yeah,
no one here.
Miles away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
miles away. The first 5-10 minutes, I thought the Swans were playing great. They were playing really fast, fluid, quick passes. I thought, could get about 3 or 4 here. As soon as that first goal went in, I said to my dad's mate, could get 3 or 4 here. But it just, as if the 10-minute mark, the first goal went in, it was just completely switched off and just sat back and allowed Norwich to get back in the game.
That's what we do every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
I think a key moment of that game was the Eon chance in the first half. Got the ball, and as soon as he got the ball, the keeper was nowhere near his line. He was miles off it, and he was stumbling on the ground. Should just taking a chance. What's the worst that could happen? But no, he tried to do a couple of skilled moves and cut inside and get a ridiculous angle. And I think that was a big turning point of the match. The confidence that just came down after that.
Yeah, so we just revert to type, don't we? It felt very much like QPR after the first goal again, where it's just like we're not really going to do much with it, and when we do get it, we kind of look like we don't know what we want to do as well. It's so strange. It's so frustrating to watch because let's be really honest here, 2-1 win, but Norwich were absolutely honking. Absolutely disgusting. They're the worst team I've seen yet. I thought Sheffield United were bad at the beginning of the season. Norwich, I have no idea what they're doing. I criticise us for not knowing what they're doing. They were absolutely horrendous. Yeah. And the money they've spent, there's no way they should be that bad.
No, I agree. They just looked absolutely clueless, to be honest. Absolutely clueless. They could string a few passes together, but there was nothing there. It was, and for most part of the game, it was the same for the Swans, really. But I said to me dad's best mate, because my dad couldn't go, so I had no one else to talk to but him, and I said, surprisingly, I thought I'm going to bring this to the podcast as a controversial opinion. I thought the first half, Josh Key had a really strong first half. Surprisingly, the runs he was making on that right hand side were really strong.
I think from considering where he's been, I don't think that's too far off it, because he was quite bad. Like I said, I think he had to be taken out of the firing line. I think maybe that sharpened him up a little bit. He did look a little bit better on Saturdays, and maybe that little stint out of the side, even though it wasn't really a full game, it's probably done him the world of good, really.
Yeah, I think Josh, he had a fantastic first half. Dipped a bit in the second half, but what can you do? I think Ronald in front of him was a bit concerning. Because just from where I was sat, it was just like Ronald was like, we're attacking the ball, and he just runs a few yards and just stands still. As if he just freezes. What do I do next?
Hit the post, though. Started in different game. I think the frustration for me in the game, and it's been the same all season, is we go 1-0 up at home, and then we just sit back, we don't kill the game off, and then we concede. And we always concede before half-time as well, which is driving me up the wall. We cannot go into the break at home winning a game. Drive me absolutely mental. With just no killer instinct in the team. It's like they don't know what to do when they get 1-0 up. It's like they're not expecting it, so they just sit back, and it just doesn't pay off every time. It comes back to bite us in the ass. If it wasn't for Potnick putting it out of the back in the last 15 minutes, then that would have been a frustrating 4-1 draw. Instead, we're talking about a win, which, let's be honest, still wasn't a great win.
Interesting what you say about him pulling us out of the muck there. Did you notice what he was about to do? He was about to take him off. Adamida was stripped and ready to come on. He scores that goal. He doesn't even celebrate the goal. He just turns around and tells Ida to step back down. I literally go watch back. He's about to take him off.
Yeah.
If that doesn't sum it up for you, and I know I've been banging this drum, and I'm going to keep banging it, he is holding us back. It's not just the handbrake being on. I can't wait for us to discuss QPR, because you talked about horror showings, boys. Oh my God. Wednesday night.
That was a honker.
Yeah.
Absolute honker. Absolute honker. So, there's not much else you can really say about QPR. I thought it was absolutely disgusting.
No. It was all the hallmarks of, right? I keep talking about warning signs all the time. Everything I saw at Watford, where we knew what we didn't want to do with the ball when we were at Watford. When we went to Preston away last year, and we sat back behind the ball and did nothing for the whole game. I think there was 2 other games as well. I can't remember them off the top of my head right now. But all the things I've been saying about being clueless, being slow, being almost too conservative, too pragmatic, lacking ideas. QPR, which is the perfect storm of all that coming together. Now, I've said that this has been coming for a long time. I didn't think it could be that bad. Wednesday was, I had a feeling that he was going to take us away from the football that we like to play. I did not realise it could get that bad. And people keep saying, oh, we're winning, we're getting points. This is not going to carry on forever. It simply cannot. You look at the chances created, look at every attacking metric we've got. We are seriously overperforming. When Vipotnik stops scoring, I'll ask this question, where's the goals coming from?
Yeah.
Do you think that will be in the next coming, well, November's coming up, Christmas is soon around the corner, fixtures are going to come thick and fast. Do you think that's going to come soon? Do you think that slump is on the horizon?
I think it realistically, it is. If you look at the numbers and the underlying data, first of all, it's not passing the eye test. Secondly, people will rubbish XG, fine. Chances created, touches in the box, dangerous attacks. Again, all those metrics, all bottom 5. I think that when he hits a sticky patch, look out, because then where's it coming from? We've had the odd one goal chipped in from Cullen and Ronaldo, but that's where my concern is coming from.
Completely agree. And look at the team here; they're all the bottom 4 teams, right? Nobody above that have we played well against at all. So when we're playing against those teams, he is going to hit that sticky patch, and he's going to get found out, and we could even get embarrassed a couple of times as well.
Do you think it's the money spent in the summer, the transfers brought in, great recruitment? Do you think it's a cause for concern this season now that if we do hit that sticky patch, against the top sides of the league, your Coventry's, would looking at mid-table finish or possibly relegation scrap? Because if that sticky period comes along, as you say, XG's not looking great, could it be relegation scrap?
I don't think it's been a scrap. I think with the amount of money, like you said, the recruitment's been it's arguably our best recruitment since we've Premier League, right? I can't see the owners putting up with having put that much money and investment in to sit in a relegation scrap. I don't think we're in a relegation scrap, and I don't think we will be. I think we've got enough on the pitch to keep us just above it, but that's not why we should be with this squad. No. It's just typical, isn't it? We've had the best off the pitch season for a long time. Everything's gone right off the pitch. The owners are doing everything right. We've got the best recruitment, and then we've got a manager that just plays the most dreary, drab football I've ever seen in my life. It's like we just can't get it right at the same time, which is what you need to get.
I think, James, you've mentioned it a few times, you don't really know what Sheehan is doing completely tactics-wise. I think his best suited tactics, in my opinion, was that opening 10 minutes of the game. That attacking football, just going straight at the opposition. That what suits him best. But I think in his mind is, well, just get the first goal and just defend. Which is, you can do that when you're 3 or 4-0 up. Not 1-0. 1-0 is the most dangerous scoreline in football. And that's scary. Bringing into the fact that it's Halloween this week, that's the scariest thing. But it's just lingering on. What can he do? What really can he do? It just gets more confusing as the weeks go on.
What confuses me more is, did you see that? I would call it a speech that he did in the dressing room, but it was the most lackluster thing I've seen. And he's talking about Melko Adel, right? And every time Melko Adel's come on the last couple of weeks, he's injected energy, pace, bit of attacking threat in. So he's pointing to him and he's going, he typifies what I want in this squad, blah, 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 blah. So why aren't you playing him then? Why do you leave him out the squad for 3 weeks for Jay Fulton?
Yeah.
Is it because he's too is he too much of a maverick for you? Is that it? You just want 3 similar midfielders sitting in front of the back 4, not really doing much. I've been saying it for a long time. I genuinely think we need someone else, and I'll keep saying it. As harsh as that may seem to people, this reminds me of Francesco Guidlin. Should have moved on at the end of the season. Thanks for keeping us up, done well. You've put us in a strong position, but we're going to go in a different direction. Because I'll ask you boys this question. Sorry, Reece, I'm going to ask the question.
Yeah,
can any hand on heart say that you were enjoying this? Is this entertaining? First and foremost, football's about entertainment. Can any of you say that you have been entertained this season, apart from maybe the Forest game?
No,
not at all. I think the Forest game was a bit of a stroke of luck. That second Burgess goal, the volley, was just a stroke of luck. That wasn't tactical brilliance. That wasn't a mastermind thing. He's not Pep Guardiola. That was just a fluke goal. You'll do that 10 times on the training pitch and score none.
Everyone's beaten Forest this year as well. It wasn't even that big a result.
Yeah. And it was Ange Postecoglou. Like, he's on the market. Would you take him? Would you take him at the Swans at the minute? Because I wouldn't.
The thought of Cabango and Burgess in a high line is giving me heart palpitations. Yeah, please don't ever say that again. No offense to Ben or Cam, that's just not their game. They're not high line defenders, are they? Let's be honest.
No. Talk about almost giving James a heart attack. It is Halloween on Friday, so the question is, boys, what is the scariest scoreline you've seen the Swans concede, either live on TV or you think it's just the worst result ever in your opinion?
Well, there's been a few. And I'll tell you what, and I know what you're going to say. I'll say Bournemouth 5-0. Which one? Both of them. Because that one could have literally been at the cup game, and when we played them before, it literally could have been like 6, 7, 8 or 9 in both those games. I'm not worried about Bournemouth, but there's just something whenever we play them, they always seem to just carve us open like it's nothing. So whenever we get Bournemouth in the cup, I'm just like, oh, here we go again, boys.
Yeah. Vietnam flashbacks. I just seen Bournemouth. Well, mine is, I went up to, it was about 12 years ago now, Liverpool away, 5-0, 2012-13 season, 5-0 away. That was a long trip.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long, painful trip, and I remember that one absolutely like it was yesterday. Travelling up at like 5 a.m. in the morning just to make the most of being in Liverpool and all that. And then coming home the same day at like 12 p.m. thinking, what was the point? What was the point of all that journey?
Yeah. I think for me, in terms of the actual scoreline, it was probably that 6-3 last day of the season against Blackpool. That was a killer as well. And Trundle missed the penalty. I think he scored another 2 penalties in the same game. It was a bizarre game. I've never seen anything like it. Mm-hmm. But in terms of just how bad the result was, in terms of a sickener, I think the League One playoff final against Barnsley, that just stayed with me for a long time. I know some of the older fans will say the Northampton one, but this one stayed with me for a long time.
Yeah, that's fair. And then, if I can get the slide up, and I'll add it to the stage. This week is D for the A of Z of Swansea City. What makes our club great? Here, we're going to start with you. Who gets in at D?
I have to go with Nathan Dyer. Premier League win, not with us, but Cup winner, European player. Yeah, it's got to be Nathan Dyer. I think he was superb for us. Electric on the wing. Gave us some great performances. That Cardiff home game with Gary Monk's first game in charge, 3-0. Thought he was superb then. Yeah, it's got to be Nathan Dyer for me.
James?
Oh, I got one for the promotion to the Premier League season as well. Darren Pratley. Gotta be Darren Pratley, mainly for that goal in the playoffs, but also his goals against Cardiff as well. I absolutely love Darren Pratley, and it's still a regret for me that we didn't get to see him in the Prem. So I genuinely think he could have done a job with us in the Prem. I know he had his heart set to move elsewhere, but yeah, I got a lot of time for Pratt. One of my favourite players when I was younger. Just so good. Also
the best time with Brad as well. His song, the Lady Gaga one, it's my favourite song.
Yeah.
I've gone a bit rogue. I've gone Ben Davies. I know he's more prolific at Tottenham, but I think he just symbolises what the Swansea was at that time when he came through. Just hard-working, grit, and a great, phenomenal player, and came through the academy, so we can claim it as our own.
Yeah.
Right, boys. I think that's it for this week. We've had a bit of a moan about Sheehan, as James likes to do every week. You haven't got an agenda at all.
No,
not at all. Not at all.
You don't call me agenda Rogers, like.
Right, boys. Thank you very much for this week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. What's your opinion on Sheehan in the comments down below? And yeah, we'll see you next week. Thank you, Hugh, and thank you, James.